Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Lewis coming to you at the beginning of week 2. Just wanted to get us started. Let's make sure I have not stopped. Pause. Am I recording? I forget. Looks like I am recording. Oh, craziness. But am I sharing? I am sharing too. Okay. Hopefully all this is working just fine. Have to get my mind around where we're at. So we are at the start of week 2. And I usually start out with a little spiritual thought, move into an overview of the week, go into some of the general concepts in the textbook, and then address some questions that are coming up along the way. So let me start off with a spiritual thought. Now we're in Matthew 1 and Luke 1, a very interesting start of the New Testament, primarily a focus on Christ and his birth, right? The beginning of his birth, of Mary, and as well as we learn a little bit about John the Baptist and his mother, right? And how that blessing came to them in their lives. Let me go up here at the top. We got Mary, and we got Elizabeth. My mind is blanking on me right now. But anyway, John the Baptist and Christ, right? And we're really get down to me, this issue of nothing is impossible with the Lord. And so I was down here at the bottom. Really, the faithful willingly submit to God's will. And I think that's why nothing's impossible. So if we're doing what the Lord wants, we will be able to achieve it. When we're doing what either we want that supersedes his will or completely contrary to his will, then we don't always do so well. And the interesting thing is I've also started to read in the Book of Mormon, starting from the very beginning in First Nephi. And this week, I think I got through to where Nephi actually kills Laban, right? Now, if you think about that little story compared to this story, maybe not so much of a very good direct connection, but I was thinking that Nephi had an opportunity to not kill Laban, which felt very strange to him, or to go ahead and do that. And if he in the scriptures clearly kind of outlined to some degree why it was necessary for him to do that. And it was primarily to get the scriptures, right? To get the golden plates, not the golden plates, the brass plates, so that they could use them in the future to know God's will, God's interactions with their ancestors, and how he worked in the lives of them. And if they didn't have that, number one, they wouldn't have been able to see what God's commandments were, how they had interacted with him in the past, what the blessings were from God. But then they wouldn't have also had a very crucial component of their language. And we find in other parts of the Book of Mormon, when people lost the roots of their language, they became unintelligible. And so there's a lot of things that go along, right? Submitting to God's will and understanding that when we're directed by the Spirit, it's a very, very positive, good thing that we do that, because there's plenty of blessings that come out of that, including just the awesome ability to overcome any challenge that is placed before us. So you are starting out the week this semester with a massive challenge of coming up to speed on this accounting work. And so I'm going to transition right over to that, right? So you're